Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're doing something a little different. We're going to zero in on just one day in AI, January 23rd, 2026, because what happened on that single day really laid bare all the major conflicts that are shaping, well, everything.
Okay, let's just jump right into it. On this day, speaking from Davos of all places, the chairman of OpenAI himself drops a bomb. He basically comes out and says the whole AI sector is probably in a bubble, even comparing it to the dot-com crash. A pretty stark warning that a big market correction is coming. But get this, on the exact same day his chairman is warning everyone about a bubble, what is OpenAI doing? They're leading this absolutely massive $252 million funding round for a startup that is pushing the boundaries of what we even think is possible.
So who got the cash? A company called Merge Labs, and they're working on non-invasive brain-computer interfaces. Yeah, BCIs. Their goal is to use focused ultrasound to read and even influence our neural activity. In other words, to bypass screens entirely for direct mind-to-machine communication. This single move tells you everything about OpenAI's real ambition. It's not just about artificial intelligence, it's about fusing our own minds with machines.
So you've got this wild contrast, right? Public caution on one hand, and these huge aggressive bets on the other. And that leads us straight into our first big conflict, the war for AI's wallet. The central question really is, how is all of this actually going to get paid for? And believe it or not, on that same day, the CEO of Google's DeepMind comes out and publicly takes a shot at OpenAI's plan to stick ads in ChatGPT. He's basically saying, look, an AI assistant isn't just another place to stick a banner ad. It has to be a helpful, neutral partner. And he thinks ads could completely shatter that essential trust.
So what you're seeing here is a major fork in the road for AI's future. On one side, you have the ad-supported model, which is all about funding massive scale. On the other, you've got this trust-first approach, where the goal is to become an indispensable utility in your life. The path that wins isn't just a business model. It will literally define the kind of AI we let into our homes and our heads.
And you have to remember, for OpenAI, the pressure is immense. We're talking 800 million people using ChatGPT every single week. How do you possibly make money from that kind of user base without completely alienating everyone and sending them running to your competitors?
Okay, so we've talked about the money, but what's actually powering all this amazing software? It needs unbelievably powerful hardware to run. And that brings us to our next theme, building the AI engine. Because, you guessed it, on that same day, January 23rd, one company completely changed the game.
NVIDIA dropped its new Rubin platform. And look, this is not just a slightly faster chip, it is a total architectural redesign. You can see all the technical specs here, but they all boil down to one simple goal: making it way cheaper and faster to actually use AI models, a process we call inference. Let's just focus on this number for a second. 1.2 terabytes per second. That's the memory bandwidth of the new CPU, more than double what came before it. To put it simply, that speed was the big traffic jam holding back AI that can actually do stuff on its own, what we call Agentic AI. And NVIDIA, they just built a superhighway right through it.
And to go with that speed, you get this: a massive 288 gigabytes of next-gen memory for every single GPU. Why does that matter? Well, it's like giving the AI a gigantic short-term memory. It can hold on to a ton of information, which is absolutely crucial for tackling complex, multi-step tasks without getting lost or confused.
And it all adds up to this: a 5-fold improvement in efficiency and performance. Now, that's not just a nice little bump. This number signals a huge shift in the entire industry. We're moving past the phase of just building these giant AI models. Now, the race is on to run them efficiently at a global economic scale.
But all this incredible new power, it doesn't exist in a tech vacuum. It's smashing right into the messy, complicated reality of geopolitics. And that's our third and, honestly, maybe most complex battleground: AI's new world order. And again, all on the same day, you see this pattern emerging all over the world. Malaysia lifts a ban on an AI model, but only after the company agrees to follow local laws. India announces a major summit. Europe pushes forward with its AI Act. The one big takeaway here? The Wild West, borderless era of tech, it's over. It's done.
And this Malaysia precedent is so important because it's a shot across the bow for every single AI company.
The message is crystal clear. If you want to operate globally, you have to play by local rules. It is not a suggestion anymore.
At the same time, you have India doing something really interesting. It's not just adopting Western tech, it's trying to become a leader in its own right, a powerful voice for the global South. Their whole approach is different. It's focused on making sure this technology empowers people everywhere to be creators, not just consumers of AI.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together. You've got the money, the hardware, the global politics, all swirling around. Where is it all headed? It's converging on our final frontier, and it is the most personal one yet, fusing human and machine.
And nowhere is this more obvious than in healthcare. AI is not some side project anymore. It's becoming the actual operating system for our health. You've got these two big players taking different angles. Anthropic's Claude is all about the clinical side, automating the messy paperwork and insurance stuff. Meanwhile, OpenAI's ChatGPT Health is focused squarely on you, the patient, explaining your lab results and giving you wellness advice.
So when you step back and look at everything that happened on this one day, the new super-fast hardware, the focus on autonomous agents, that huge investment in brain-computer interfaces, it all points towards this new kind of reality. People are starting to call it the neurosymbolic economy. It's a future where intelligence isn't something you run on your phone, it's just there, a background utility, like electricity, always on.
And what the events of January 23rd really hammer home is that this isn't science fiction. This is not decades away. The transition from AI being a cool experiment to being the fundamental plumbing of our economy, our society, and even our own biology, it is happening right now.
And so, all of this leaves us with one big, lingering question we have to grapple with. As this technology moves from something we look at on a screen to something that's literally connected to our minds, who is really in control?